I'm Gregory Chen, and I'm the managing director of the Ultra Poor Graduation Initiative. Prior to joining BRAC, I spent around 25 years advancing broadly financial inclusion. One of the things we realized in the 1990s about microfinance was that in order for it to address poverty, it really needed to scale. And in order to scale, we really needed an appropriate model that could operate at scale and reach large numbers of poor people, just given the scale of the challenge of doing financial inclusion. But I would just take a few things from the work on financial inclusion. Working with the poor does require going to scale, and there are ways to do that. And I think one of the things I learned from the financial inclusion world is that it may seem daunting at the beginning, but if you tackle it day by day and think always about the scale challenge, that you can get there. And I take a lot of confidence from starting from almost zero in digital finance with a number of businesses that I worked with, to being mass market, multi-million client businesses today. If I was to put down one word, it would be trying to help solve the challenge of scale. And there are lots of reasons why graduation should work. The evidence is strong, but there are also lots of barriers. Governments have other tools at their disposal. There's perceived complexity, there's perceived cost. So we've got a lot of challenges in order to get to scale. So my hope is that my own efforts will be to see the entire UPGI team do the most exciting, most rewarding work of their careers in helping tackle this big challenge. And I hope my efforts are, in the end, a relatively small piece of that. And this is a huge challenge for the development community. The issue is that there is this very large group who we do not have tools to adequately serve and reach today. And the growing oneself out of poverty has its own limits, and we should recognize those limits. And graduation is a tool to address some of those limitations of other poverty tools that have worked. I think in order to address SDG 1, we're going to have to think differently and do differently than we've done over the past 20 or 30 years. That goal remains elusive to us, and it will unless we think differently and do differently.